On 10, so they've now been in 2 finals, the world number ones, Lee Yong-dae and Yu Young-sung. So the Danes, Bo and Mogensen, dropped down 3 places because they didn't make the trip to Australia. So our match coming up in just a moment features the number ones on that list, Destination Dubai list, Endo and Hayakawa against the number 4 ranked pair, Lee Yong-dae and Yu Young-sung. Well, of course, I've just had another senior moment, haven't I? Because, of course, Lee Yong-dae and Yu Young-sung are already through, and the match we've got is Endo and Hayakawa against the 2013 winners, Mohammad Ahsan and Hendra Setiawan. So walkover for Fu Haifeng and Zhang Nan because Carsten Mogensen jumped on an aeroplane last night. His wife has gone into labour, expecting the birth of their first child. So he's dashed home to try and get home in time for that very special moment, and quite right too. So the number 3 seeds, Mohammad Ahsan and Hendra Setiawan, winners here. In 2013, last year they lost in the final. So finalists for the last 2 years, whereas Hayakawa and Endo, prior to this year, had not made it past the first round in 3 separate appearances.
Now, please welcome and big applause. Hiroyuki Kenichi Hayakawa, Japan.
So here come the number 6 seeds, Kenichi Hayakawa and Hiroyuki Endo. Six Super Series tournament finals, but they're still looking for their first ever title at Super Series level, that is.
And on the other side, Mohammad Ahsan.
Well, just listen to the roar. The former champions, Mohammad Ahsan and Hendra Setiawan. World champions, of course, the Indonesians 2 years ago. And this semi-final for the right to play against Fu Haifeng and Zhang Nan in tomorrow's semi-final. Carol Leah-Riel of Ireland is our umpire for this one. For Long Hu of China, the service judge. Well, if you were with us yesterday, you would have watched the Japanese pair. But this is our first opportunity to really watch the former world number ones and former world champions, Mohammad Ahsan and Hendra Setiawan. Currently number 3 in the world ranking, hence the number 3 seeding. But they did spend 38 consecutive weeks as world number ones from November 2013 to August 2014. Gold medal at the 2013 World Championships and gold medal at last year's Asian Games as well. Their win-loss record for the year. They played in 5 previous tournaments, and with only 4 losses, it means that they've won one of them. That was the Malaysian Super Series. They also reached the final of the Asia Championships. Beats Andy Ellis and Peter Mills in the first round. And then Gideon Marcus Fernaldi and Kevin Sukamuljo in just 21 minutes. That's astonishing for 21-17, 21-15, 21 minutes. Extraordinary. Well, Steen, you've been talking about very quick rallies in men's doubles, and that's possibly the explanation, because I don't think there's many pairs better than the Indonesians at the first 3 shots. Anyway, to the Japanese pair, number 6 seeds, Kenichi Hayakawa and Hiroyuki Endo. Up 1 place in the world ranking this week to number 5, but they have been as high as 2. And as I was saying, prior to this year, never passed the first round in 3 previous visits to the Indonesian Open. Their win-loss record for the year, 7 individual tournaments and 3 semi-finals, including the All England and the Singapore Super Series events. Now, in their first round, they had a tremendous match against Chen Hongling and Wang Qielin of Chinese Taipei. Dropped the opening game 20-22 and then won through, as you can see, 21-19 in the decider. 59 minutes, that one. And then yesterday, if you were with us, you would have enjoyed the match against the qualifiers, Berry Anggriawan and Rian Agun Saputro. Once again, dropping the opening game by the margin of 20-22, but very, very decisive in the next 2 games, 11 and 8. But that match also lasting nigh on the hour mark. Well, as you can see, this is the 8th meeting, and if you're a Japanese fan, that will horrify you, because all 7 previous meetings have been won by the Indonesians. The last time they met was one of only 2 occasions where it's been the full distance. That was in the quarterfinal of the Malaysian Super Series earlier this year. Has to be said, in Malaysia, Mohammad Ahsan was struggling back from a back injury, and I thought he was a very slow starter in that match. I commentated on that, and I thought that Mohammad Ahsan was very slow to get going. Perhaps a little wary of that back injury that he had been struggling with. Well, that's an extraordinary statistic for Ahsan and Setiawan. 21 minutes for their second round match yesterday.
Yeah, I was thinking what the longest rally were, 8 shots or so.
Yeah. But I tell you what, look out for Naldi and Sukamuljo.
Yeah.
They're a pair for the future. They really are.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Endo Hiroyuki, Hayakawa, Kenichi, Japan. On my left, Ahsan, Mohammad, Setiawan, Hendra, Indonesia. Kenichi Hayakawa to serve. To Mohammad Ahsan, love all, play.
Well, Kenichi Hayakawa was wanting to be quick off the blocks, and a little too quick. The umpire hadn't finished her announcements.
Service over, 1 love. Service over, 1 all.
26. Goes to you and sing by soul. Korea. Versus Malaysia, Serita Maria Juli Brosula of Philippines.
3-1.
Oh, that's nice. Clever. Lovely change of pace.
It's going to be really, really difficult for the Japanese if both Indonesian players are healthy, which their previous results in the first 2 rounds suggests. because they were struggling a little bit yesterday, the Japanese, against the perhaps third or fourth Indonesian pair, and both Setiawan and Ahsan are individually better players than the ones they played yesterday. So very, very difficult. Normally relying on their defensive game to help them through a lot. That's impossible today.
Okay, so it's impossible today for them to rely on their defensive games. Why do the Japanese pair struggle in general against this Indonesian pair? I mean, 7 and love on the head-to-heads. There's got to be some reason for that.
Yeah, the Indonesians are sort of dominating in the service situation, and they're also so strong in the attack. Normally, with Mohammad Ahsan playing the role of the backcourt player, and Hendra Setiawan the killer at the net. So the Japanese defense simply isn't good enough against these two Indonesian players.
Service over.
30 years of age now, Hendra Setiawan. 5 Indonesia Open finals. 2 with his partner of today. 2 men's doubles with Marcus Kido. Won the title in 2005, and they were beaten finalists in 2006. Yeah, well played. So here's your teaser.
Yeah.
Steen, his 5th final. Who was that with? Hendra Setiawan.
With Kido and with Ahsan. Wow.
I'm going to leave you to ponder that for a little while.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you a little bit later. Oh, lovely.
Well, I must say, Joe, I have no idea, but I feel like saying Tony Gunawan.
Shall I give you a clue?
Yeah.
Mixed doubles.
Mixed doubles. Oh.
There's a surprise in itself.
That's Anastasia Rushki.
Yes, well done. The year, in case you're wondering, was 2010, and they lost to Robert Matusiak and Nadia Ziba in the final. Now, I didn't really like the way that Endo moved after that rally. Yeah, I don't like it at all, the way he's walking right now.
No. Talking to his coach.
Yeah, he's damaged his left leg. Hiroyuki Endo.
Service over. 9-4. Play.
Yeah, and he hobbled after that as well, didn't he? Well, was it his knee or his Achilles? I'm not quite sure. Maybe ankle, whatever it was, I didn't like it. No, it's still, no, in fact, I have serious question marks in my own mind as to whether he should be continuing. Yeah, hopped again after the rally.
Apparently says to his coach it's fine.
Well, to me, it's clearly not fine. Yeah, he's just holding his knee there. Goodness me, we saw a very nasty knee injury, didn't we, in Dongguan at the Sudirman Cup. We don't want to see another one. Oh, clever.
He can't move.
No.
He's taking all the weight off his left leg.
Yeah, it's his knee. I'm sure it's his knee.
That's for a knee bandage.
Well, with this being the start of the Olympic qualifying period, only the second Super Series tournament within that Olympic qualifying 52 months, I have my real doubts as to whether he should actually continue.
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds. Coach. Coach.
And there's also, I mean, if you can't move, what are the chances that they, for the first time in 8 encounters, beats
Yeah, exactly.
Setiawan and Ahsan?
Yeah, this is why I think it's complete madness. Well, at least they've got a former Indonesian player as coach now, Hiroyuki Manaki. And I was able to translate. Well, Steen, we talked in Dongguan, didn't we, about the Indonesian player Bellatrix Manuputi and how she continued on and possibly made it worse than it originally was. No, you can't move, forget it. Surely, common sense.
Anyways, he has to concentrate so much on sort of protecting his knee that it takes away some of his concentration.
Yeah.
Of course, there's no need to change the shuttle after one service and one shutout.
No, exactly.
I actually think that should be delay of game when it's obvious that there's nothing wrong with the shuttle.
Oh,
that's great play. Wow, how quick was that?
Yeah. I mean, we normally think it's Hendra Setiawan, don't we, that's the front court player, but I tell you, Mohammad Ahsan, who's lightning quick too.
Oh.
Oh, no, no, did you see that? He hopped, and he's hopped again. No, 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 this is madness, absolute madness.
it seems like it must have been something that he's been experiencing before, because he seemed sort of mentally unbothered by it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah.
That's the problem when he has to apply weight on that left leg.
It's so obvious to us, Steve, that he can't move properly. You know, and I know what it's like to become an Olympian, and he's never been to an Olympic Games. Why would no? Why would you jeopardize that opportunity?
Well, they're actually playing a little bit better, or doing better.
Yeah. I think the Indonesians are so intent on trying to move him that they're not playing their normal game.
That's what you often see, that it's quite difficult playing against opponents that are a little bit injured, because you don't know whether you should sort of change your game or continue with your normal game. That's the problem. He simply can't change his weight in the backhand corner.
Well, there was a look after that rally.
Service over. 14.
And the look was from Endo towards his coach. Yeah, a shake of a head, looks towards his coach as if to say, you know what, boss? This is not good.
He's
hopping. He's hopping
and killing it. What a fantastic shot.
15-16.
And he was calling for a knee bandage, but so far none has been provided.
Yeah, this, to me, he's getting worse, not better. Sometimes when you have an injury, you know, you can play through it, and actually it's okay. Carolina Marin did that at the World Championships last year. But this is really bothering me, I have to say.
I've just seen the doctor occupied on one of the other courts, but right now available.
No, you can't move.
Service over. 18-16. Play.
Yeah.
Yeah, to me, it's definitely the knee.
Yeah.
And once again, I can tell you, Endo was walking towards his coach and talking to him, and seemed to be talking in a very animated way.
I should think that they call it a day when they lose this game, if they lose this game. Now the Japanese team doctors arriving with trappings.
Yeah, can't believe. Look at this. This is just terrible. I'm terrified he's going to do even more damage. Look, he's hopping again. Ahsan, 21-16. But look, he can hardly move. What is the point in battling on? Look.
But I think it's about time that the BWF makes some more specific rules regarding treatment on court. Because this was done in a hurry at the interval in the first game. As the players are actually not allowed to receive treatment.
No, I know, but the Japanese...
Only in the intervals or the breaks between the games.
Yeah.
And that makes way for these situations here that are both disturbing and also very unusual.
Well, I have to say, Steen, I'm feeling very, very nervous for him.
Yeah.
I mean, even if they were to win this match, and as you pointed out, well, they've lost the previous 7. You know, would he be fit for tomorrow? So what's the point? What's the point in risking your Olympic qualifying period? Well, it's beyond my comprehension.
Yeah. Probably see a flick service from Ahsan. No. They just decided to play their normal game.
I mean, there wouldn't even have been time for the team doctor, Japanese team doctor, to really examine him properly to see what the problem was.
No, and it's still a problem. We can see that.
Yeah. Because depending on the problem, depends on how you strap the injury.
Yeah.
What attacking play.
Service over. 2-3.
Well, I understand a player's refusal to give up. I can remember one of my first coaches always said to me, don't come off the court unless you're carried off. you don't give up.
No.
If you're beaten fair and square, that's fine. But this is, you know, I was playing junior badminton at the time. It didn't really matter.
No.
This is his future, the chance to qualify for the Olympics. And if he's out for months and months.
This is work. This is work.
Service over. 3-5.
Well, there's no point us really talking about tactics about what should happen or whatever, because, I mean, he's not in a physical condition to implement them.
So they have to, I mean, they have to try to complicate the game. Hope that Hayakawa can sort of rise to the challenge at the net, and otherwise they have to play a more defensive style, because Endo is clearly not capable of moving on the back court.
Service over. 7-5.
Well, I have to say, I think this has disturbed the Indonesians, surprisingly so.
Yeah.
Because the Indonesians were totally dominant, and I think they've sort of been thrown. They don't really know what they should be doing, as you pointed out. Should you play your normal game, or do you try and
will they quit if we sort of just get them a couple of rallies and sort of expose them?
Service over.
And then again, the Indonesians, I mean, they make winners and mistakes no matter who they play. So perhaps it doesn't matter whether it's 4 legs or 3.5 on the other side.
9-6.
What a great flick serve from Setiawan.
Kenichi.
Pushed it wide to the mid-game interval, and surely common sense should prevail.
Sorry, gentlemen, service judge called a fault.
Service fault was called.
Everybody's on the court, the moppers, the coaches, everybody's on the court.
So the score is not 11-6, it's 10-7. Oh, well, so now what's happening? Well, nobody heard it.
Nobody heard the service judge call a fault.
Well, if he's called a fault, it's a fault. Point to the Japanese pair.
Yeah. So perhaps they take a break here at 10-7.
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds.
No, well,
Thank you.
I think it's been allowed to stand. Crikey, it's all happening here, isn't it?
What on earth happened there?
11-6.
Yeah. Well, the service judge shaking his head. Oh, that's amazing.
Service over, 7-11.
Commercial break here.
racket long.
8-11.
He can use it as supporting leg,
But that's about it.
but definitely can't put weight on it.
Yeah, you see they're determined to play back to the nets
Yeah.
and
Play the 50-50 point
Yeah.
situations.
Service over, 12-9. Service over, 10-12.
yeah, good return.
Service over, 13-10. Service
dear
over,
me.
11-14.
Brilliant. Good rally.
Service over, 15-11. Service over, 12-15.
I guess in some way you can say that this is the best pair the Japanese can play under these circumstances, because they simply don't get to be in attack a whole lot. And that sort of protects the left leg of Hiroyuki Endo a little bit.
Service fault called, struck above the waist. Well, the second time he's been called for that, but
Service
the first
over,
time they've lost the rally.
16.
That's a quiz question for the future, isn't it?
Yeah. What do you do if the service fault call is not heard and everybody's left the court?
14-16.
Well, they're still in it. Amazingly enough.
Yeah. It's well left.
Service over, 17-14.
Oh, my goodness. Well, that was almost on the blue carpet surround. Well, Hayakawa was saying it was a double hit, but it came off Mohammad Ahsan. Well, they're waiting for the replay on the giant screens in Hendra Stadium. And the umpire is quite right. She can't change her mind if she wasn't called at the time.
No.
Well, Mohammad Ahsan putting up his hand to apologise. Why didn't he tell the umpire that it had touched him? Point opportunities. This time, symmetry in the scoreline, 21-16, 21-16. And I do hope that my fears about Hiroyuki Endo are unfounded, because I think that looks like a fairly serious injury. I think he may have, at the very least, strained an anterior cruciate ligament.
21-16.
The moment of victory for the Indonesians. .34 minutes, and Ahsan and Setiawan through to the semi-final. So that concludes our quarterfinals for this afternoon. It all started with the women's doubles. And what a great result for Maswari and Polly, the Asian Games gold medalists, beating the number 2 seeds in 2 straight games, having to come from behind in both of those games, incidentally. Then the former world champions and 2-time beaten finalists here at their home event, Tontowi Ahmad and Liliana Nasir, too good for the World Championship bronze medalists from last year. Then the defending champion in the men's singles, Jan Jorgensen, was just too much experience and too quick and too good for the qualifier, the 17-year-old Jonathan Christie. Then women's singles, and it really was a masterclass today from Ratchanok Intanon, the former world champion and beaten finalist from last year here in Indonesia, cruised to victory against the qualifier, Lindaweni Thanatri. And as we've just seen in the men's doubles, Mohammad Ahsan and Hendra Setiawan, winners of this event 2 years ago, 21-16, 21-16 against an injured Endo and his partner Hayakawa. So of course we will be back with the semi-finals tomorrow, and from all of us here in the meantime, from the quarter-finals evening, from Steen Peterson, myself, Jill Clark, hope to see you tomorrow. Bye for now.
The umpire of the match, Irianto Idris, Indonesia, and the service judge, Dadan Heryana, Indonesia.